Open University Bachelor in Broadcast Communication Group 1 presents an Intercultural International Communication COM 2093 presentation featuring The Land of the Rising Sun. Japan has a total of 6,852 islands extending along the Pacific coast of East Asia. The country, including all the islands it controls, lies between latitudes 24 degrees and 46 degrees north and longitude at 122 degrees and 146 east. The main islands, from north to south, are Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. The Ryukyu Islands, including Okinawa, are a chain to the south of Kyushu. Together, they are often known as the Japanese archipelago. About 73% of Japan is forested, mountainous, and unsuitable for agricultural, industrial, or residential use. As a result, the habitable zones, mainly located in coastal areas, have extremely high population densities. Japan is one of the most densely populated countries in the world. The islands of Japan are located in a volcanic zone of the Pacific Ring of Fire. They are primarily the result of large oceanic movements occurring over hundreds of million years from the mid-Silurian to the Pleistocene as a result of subduction of the Philippine Sea Plate beneath the continental Amurian Plate and Okinawa Plate to the south, and subduction of the Pacific Plate under the Oshkosh Plate to the north. Japan was originally attached to the eastern coast of the Eurasian continent. The subducting plates pulled Japan eastward, opening the Sea of Japan around 15 million years ago. Japan has 108 active volcanoes. Destructive earthquakes, often resulting in tsunami, occur several times each century. The 1923 Tokyo earthquake killed over 140,000 people. More recent major earthquakes are the 1995 Great Hanshin earthquakes and the 2011 Tohoku earthquake, a 9.0 magnitude quake which hit Japan on March 11, 2011 and triggered a large tsunami. The climate of Japan is predominantly temperate, but varies greatly from north to south. Japan's geographical features divide into 6 principal climatic zones: Hokkaido, Sea of Japan, Central Highland, Seto Inland Sea, Pacific Ocean, and Ryukyu Islands. The northernmost zone, Hokkaido, has a humid continental climate with long, cold winters and warm to cool summers. Precipitation is not heavy, but the islands usually develop deep snowbanks in the winter. The kimono is a Japanese traditional garment. The word kimono, which literally means a thing to wear, ki as wear, and mono as thing, has come to denote these full-length robes. The standard plural of the word kimono in English is kimonos, but the unmarked Japanese plural kimono is also sometimes used. Kimono are T-shaped, straight-line robes worn so that the hem falls to the ankle, with attached collar and long, wide sleeves. Kimono are wrapped around the body, always with the left side over the right, except when dressing the dead for burial, and secured by a sash called obi, which is tied at the back. Kimono are generally worn with traditional footwear, especially sori or geta, and split-toe socks, which is called tabi. Today, kimono are most often worn by women, and on special occasions, traditionally unmarried wore a style of kimono called furisode, with almost floor-length sleeves, on special occasions. A few older women, and even fewer men, still wear kimono on a daily basis. Mon wear the kimono most often at weddings, tea ceremonies, and other very special or very formal occasions. Professional sumo wrestlers are often seen in the kimono because they are required to wear traditional Japanese dress whenever appearing in public. Traditional Japanese female entertainers who act as hostesses and whose skills include performing various Japanese arts such as classical music, dance, and games. In the early stages of Japanese history, there were female entertainers, saburoku, or serving girls, were mostly wandering girls whose families were displaced from struggles in the late 600s. Some of these saburoku girls sold sexual services, while others with a better education made a living by entertaining a high-class social gatherings. After the imperial court moved the capital to Heian, Kyo, which is now Kyoto, in 794, the conditions that would form Japanese geisha culture began to emerge, as it began the home of a beauty of elite, skilled female performers such as shirabuyoshi dancers tribe. More than 99% of the population speaks Japanese as their first language. Japanese is an agglutinative language distinguished by a system of hieroglyphics reflecting the hierarchical nature of Japanese society, with verb forms and particular vocabulary indicating the relative status of speaker and listener. Japanese writing uses kanji, or the Chinese characters, and two sets of kana, syllabaries based on simplified Chinese characters, as well as the Latin alphabet and Arabic numerals. Besides Japanese, the Ryukyuan language, also part of the Japonic language family, are spoken in Okinawa. However, few children learn these languages. The Ainu language has no proven relationship to Japanese or any other language, is moribund, with only a few elderly native speakers remaining in Hokkaido. Most public and private schools required students to take courses in both Japanese and English. The Japanese yen is the official currency of Japan. It is the third most traded currency in the foreign exchange market after the United States dollars and the euro. It is also widely used as a reverse currency after the US dollar, the euro, and the pound sterling. Japanese art covers a wide range of art styles and media, including ancient pottery, sculpture, ink painting, and calligraphy on silk and paper, ukiyo-e woodblock prints, kiri, kirigami, origami, and more recently manga, modern Japanese cartoons. Anime is an art form, especially animation, that includes all genres found in cinema, but it can be mistakenly classified as a genre. In Japan, the term anime refers to all forms of animation from around the world. English language dictionaries define anime as a Japanese style of motion picture animation, or as a style of animation developed in Japan. Short for costume play is a performance art in which participants wear costumes and accessories to represent a specific character or idea. Cosplayers often interact to create a subculture centered on a role play. A broader use of the term cosplay applies to any costumed role played in venues apart from the stage, regardless of the cultural context. Japan enjoys full religious freedom based on Article 20 of its constitution. Upper estimates suggest that 84 to 96% of the Japanese population subscribe to Buddhism or Shinto, including a large number of followers of syncretism of both religions. However, these estimates are based on people affiliated with the temple, rather than the number of true believers. Other studies have suggested that only 30% of the population identify themselves as belonging to a religion. According to Edwin Rachkor and Marius Jansen, Some 70 to 80% of the Japanese regularly tell pollster they do not consider themselves believers in any religion. Nevertheless, the level of participation remains high, especially during festivals and occasions such as the first shrine visit of the new year. Taoism and Confucianism from China have also influenced Japanese beliefs and customs. Japanese streets are decorated on Tanabata, Obon, and Christmas. Fewer than 1% of Japanese are Christian. Other minority religions include Islam, Hinduism, Sikhism, and Judaism. And since the mid-19th century, numerous new religious movements have emerged in Japan. Sumo is a competitive full-contact wrestling sport where a rikishi or a wrestler attempts to force another wrestler out of a circular ring called doyo, or to touch the ground with anything other than the soles of the feet. The sports originated in Japan, the only country where it is practiced professionally. It is generally considered to be a Gendai Budo, or a modern Japanese martial arts, though this definition is misleading as the sport has a history spanning many centuries. Many ancient traditions have been preserved in sumo, and even today, the sport includes many ritual elements, such as the use of salt purification from the days when sumo was used in the Shinto religion. Samurai usually referred to in Japanese as bushi or buke, were the military nobility of medieval and early modern Japan. According to translator William Scott Wilson, in Chinese, the character was originally a verb meaning to wait upon or accompany persons in the upper ranks of society. And this is also true of the original term in Japanese, saburao. In both countries, the terms were nominalized to mean those who serve in close attendance to the nobility. The pronunciation in Japanese changing to saburai. According to Wilson, an early reference to the word samurai appears in the Kokin Wakashu from 1905 to 1940, the first imperial anthology of poems, completed in the first part of the 10th century. Japanese harakiri. From the word hara means belly and kiri means cutting. A ritual suicide by disembowelment practiced by the Japanese samurai or formally decreed by a court in lieu of the death penalty. Japanese cuisine is the food ingredients, preparation, and way of eating of Japan. The traditional food of Japan is based on rice with miso soup and other dishes, each in its own utensil, with an emphasis on seasonal ingredients. The side dishes often consist of fish, pickled vegetables, and vegetables cooked in broth. Fish is common in the traditional cuisine. It is often grilled, but it may also be served raw as sashimi or in sushi. Seafood and vegetables are also deep-fried in a light butter as tempura. Apart from rice, staples include noodles, such as soba and udon. Japan has many simmered dishes, such as fish products in broth called oden, or beef in sukiyaki, and nikujaga. Foreign food, in particular Chinese food in form of noodles in soup called ramen, and fried dumplings, gyosha, and Western foods such as curry and hamburger steaks are commonly found in Japan. Historically, the Japanese shunned meat, but with the modernization of Japan in the 1860s, meat-based dishes such as tokanshu became common. Maki sushi are sushi rolls. Sushi rice and various ingredients are rolled in nori, as maki means rolling in Japanese. Since maki sushi are wrapped by nori, they are also called nori maki. There are many kinds of sushi rolls. Popular sushi rolls in Japan are tekamaki or tuna sashimi rolls, kappa-maki or cucumber rolls, and more. Maki shushis are good finger food.